Ayyubids today. This was a Civ that was just announced today, or not announced, but it was showcased today. They are the Abbasid Dynasty variant. So let's go over the Civ. So they announced this today. Obviously, it's coming November 14th. They are the variant version of Abbasid Dynasty. Not really going to read this part. I don't think it really gives much focus. It says the Ayyubids focus on versatile units to gain a tactical advantage on the battlefield. The Ayyubids possess powerful camel cavalry that lay waste to enemy armies while their imposing siege weapons flatten defenses. And we're going to talk about more about that later. Let's see. So here's the difference between the House of Wisdom for the Ayyubids and the Abbasid Dynasty. I've been seeing a lot of talk online how people are like, why would I play Abbasid if I have the Ayyubids? Because a lot of people think Ayyubids sound stronger. So the way it goes is the Ayyubid selects between two powerful bonuses at each wing when advancing to the next age. The remaining wings will then increase their bonuses for the next age selection, offering endless strategic possibilities. Some present intermediate value, while others bring long-term investment opportunities. The major strength of the Ayyubids is the ability to adapt their House of Wisdom to fit their needs. The Ayyubids features a unit roster brimming with tricky abilities. Early on, the Desert Raider causes confusion in the enemy ranks with its masteries of both melee and ranged combat. With the infantry support technology, their camels gain increased durability when supported by nearby infantry. Later, their unique mangonel, the Manjanig, I know I said that wrong, can switch to a fire projectile mode, dealing devastating damage to buildings and units in a large area. Okay, wow, okay, actually, I didn't read this really before today, but holy shit, I didn't know they had a unique mangonel as well. And it can switch to a fire projectile mode. You know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of StarCraft siege tanks. It has a siege tank mode. Okay, that'll be interesting. And so what is interesting, so it sounds like all their wings that they can go up in have a bonus for the next age like Abbasid does, but I'm going to bet they're a little bit different, obviously. And it says their bonuses increase, but I'll be curious what that is. Here are the units at a glance. The Desert Raider wields both a sword and bow. The Desert Raider is a versatile camel unit available at both the archery range and stable. The Desert Raider is capable of quickly switching between ranged and melee combat stances, a powerful trick for mastering a dynamic battlefield. Now that does sound pretty strong, right? That's a unit can play both roles. Now Spearman obviously will do extra damage to both. I'll be very curious with the damage, you know, how much damage does it do in its bow mode and how much does it do in its you know, sword mode. Obviously, I see all of you talking about the Tower of Sultan. Look at this giga chat of a unit. The Tower of Sultan fires arrows while ramming down buildings, costing immense amounts of resources to produce. This lumbering siege weapon demolishes enemy cities and is extremely difficult to take down. That thing's a big motherfucker. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Look at how huge this thing is. It's like a siege tower and a ram. And I don't know if Fitzborough was being, you know, genuine when he said this, but I saw his Reddit comment and he said he fit 72 camels in here. I mean, I can't imagine that being true, but if it is, that'd be crazy. So this looks like I wonder how expensive this thing is and how strong. I mean, this thing is like, just from looking at it, if I saw this coming towards my base, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm about to lose some buildings. Because this thing just looks strong. So that's that'll be very interesting to see. It obviously, so the Tower of the Sultan fires arrows while ramming down buildings. So it attacks your units while ramming down. Okay. It obviously costs immense amount of resources to produce. This lumbering siege weapon demolishes enemy cities and is extremely difficult to take down. I don't know if I said that or not. I don't know if I think I repeated myself while saying this, but either way. So it fires arrows. It's big as hell. Supposedly it's difficult to take down. That's my kind of unit, honestly. It sounds like a unit that can actually end games. We need more of that in this game, that's for sure. And then we have the Camel Lancer. The Camel Lancer has a tactical charge which deals more damage the further it travels before impact, charging more frequently and from farther away than the Lancer it replaces. I don't know why that completely confused me for a second there, but that makes sense. Oh, wait, okay, no, I now understand this a little bit better. So it charges more frequently, so I'm guessing it means it doesn't have as much of a cooldown timer as, like, say, a normal Knight or a Lancer. And then it has a further distance where it'll start charging. So it's not as... Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if this is just going to be equivalent to a Knight, or if it's actually going to be unique, kind of like the Camel Riders for Abyssid. But yeah, shorter cooldown and further charge distance, that could be really good. I mean, okay, I'm gonna already tell you. We looked at the Joan of Arc, and we've already decided, they didn't show any new units for that Civ, right? We just know that there's Joan of Arc, and she's a hero unit, and that's all we know really about the French variant. This variant seems a lot more unique. As you can see, we see already three new units for this civilization. And, I mean, like I said, this is a variant of Abyssid. On paper, this Civ already sounds, like, strong. Oh, and yeah, she does. Yeah, wait, you're right. Joan of Arc does have the companions. I forgot. She does technically have 3 unique units as well. And they have. Oh no, that's right. And they have a unique mangonel. So the Ayyubids have 4 unique units compared to, So it's a very big difference from Abbasid to Ayyubids already, right? So I'm gonna bet there's some. It's gonna be played very differently as well. I would guarantee it. Like we can already tell, you're not gonna see. If you play Abbasid, you're never going to see camel archers in the feudal age, really. If you do, you see 1 or 2. The Ayyubids sound like you're going to be making this desert raider. I don't know if it's available in feudal age. Maybe it's not until castle. I don't know. But assuming it's in the feudal age, there's a good chance this unit might be a viable unit to make in the feudal age because it fulfills both roles. Like, now the question is, if it switches from sword to bow, is it weaker to archers? And then vice versa. If you switch from bow to sword, is it stronger versus archers? Or does everything stay the same and it just switches attack? It'll be very interesting to see kind of how that plays out. Because we don't know, right? So already this Civ seems very interesting. I can already see myself like... Seems like a fun Civ. Sounds like a busted Civ, to be honest, but I mean, obviously, again, you can only go by text. You have to see it in action to really know if it's broken or not. But I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure this is available in feudal is my gut feeling. I would think, you're going to see this unit in the feudal age, assuming it's not like stupidly expensive or something. The Tower of the Sultan, I'm very curious if this is a feudal age ram, or if you have to be castle age, or does the Ayyubids not have a normal ram? Is it just the Tower of Sultan and that's it? Or do they have access to normal rams? I'd be very curious as well. I wish they showed a picture of their unique mangonel, though. Like, what? Why? Where's the mangonel? I want to see what the mangonel looks like. Let's see. Let's make sure it's not in here. It doesn't look like it. It's like a tease. Okay, and then there's 4. There's obviously the House of Wisdom. The economic wing. Choose between growth and industry of the economic wing. Selecting growth will provide a group of villagers, while industry provides a shipment of wood. So, if you go economic wing, it spawns villagers and wood. So that's very interesting, right? Now, how much does it give in the ages? Like, how much does it give for feudal age, castle age, imperial age? I'd be very curious because this could be a very, it could be a very strong booming potential, right? Like, let's pretend in the feudal age... You think it's going to be either villagers or wood? I don't think it's I don't think so. Maybe to choose between growth and industry at the economic wing. Oh, wait, maybe you're right. It's either or. Okay. So you have an option between villagers or wood. Which, again, I can see either or being chosen, right? Because if you choose the villagers, let's say feudal age gives you 2 villagers, but castle age gives you like 8. I mean, or 6 or something. I don't know. I'm just obviously spouting out numbers. Or what if Imperial Age gives you like 20? I mean, that could be a very viable, boom kind of strategy. Imagine, let's pretend that it's 20 villagers in Imperial Age. Imagine a fast Imperial build. I don't know if it'd be good or not, but just, you know, spouting out random stuff. That'd be kind of crazy to think, you know, get 20 villagers if you go fast Imperial. I don't think you're ever going to see that, but never know, right? We don't know how big the bonuses is. Drongo mentioned in his video that the wood option makes it so you can do a second TC at 410. Ah, interesting. So that would be probably the fastest second town center in the game. And yeah, if you're playing on an island map, you can use the economic wing to get that extra wood. That's true. That'll be very interesting. Like, that's already kind of cool, right? Now let's look at the other one. The military wing. Choose between reinforcements and master smiths at the military wing. Reinforcements will regularly produce desert raiders at the House of Wisdom. Regularly, by the way. So that means you're going to get a constant stream of desert raiders for free. And then while selecting master smiths will instantly research blacksmith technologies. Okay. That is pretty cool. Like, that's actually like a legitimate decision I think you'll make. Because you could theoretically do a like, let's say even Castle Age. Let's say you go military wing in the Castle Age, you can get all your blacksmith techs instantly. I guess you still have to pay for it though. So I think Desert Raiders will be the one you go to. Do you remember these mechanics? Honestly, it's been a while. I'd have to remember, like, I'd have to think. Like, in Age of Empires 3, I know they have shipments, so that kind of reminds me of shipments from AoE 3, yeah. These will also have text on top of them, right? We don't know. There's a good chance they don't. To me, it almost doesn't sound like they will. Because it says you can only choose between two options. I don't know. But either way, I could see, like... But still, being able to get your blacksmith techs instantly could be a real lifesaver sometimes. Like, imagine if you're going to do a castle timing or something. You know, you could get your technologies instantly the moment you hit castle. Like, I could see timings with it, I should say. Timing attacks with it. Like a castle push or something. But in general, I bet we're going to see the Desert Raiders more because you get blacksmith technologies instantly, but is that really a big deal in a normal game, though? I don't think so, unless you're going for like a timing, like an attack or something, or you think you can kill your opponent, and if you could get these upgrades sooner, you'll actually be able to kill them because you don't have to wait the minute it takes for the upgrades. The Culture Wing. Choose between advancement and logistics at the Culture Wing. Selecting advancement is both cheaper and faster to age up with, so kind of like, yeah, Culture Wing and Ayyubid. Whereas logistics will produce a group of dervishes at the House of Wisdom and empower their unique ability, Mass Heal. Is dervishes must be their monks? Wait, what is that? Is that a trader? It doesn't look like one. Or are these the dervishes? Which means it almost looks like a dervishes are mounted monks. Okay. See, this is the downside, right? I don't have that hidden information that these good old other content creators have, so I have to guess until someone tells me. Okay, so these are their monks. So they're kind of... I wonder if they have an attack. I mean, you know what's funny? Those saddles? That's where they put the relics. I wonder if that means they can carry 2 relics at once. I mean, zooming in really help much? Kind of just... I don't know. I don't like it. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. Go back to zoom. Give me my zoom back to 100. Okay. Anyway, that's very interesting. And then, so it's either you get dervishes, which have a mass healing ability, by the way, or you can age up cheaper. I mean, I guess it depends how good the dervishes are, but this could be very, like, Culture Wing could be really good for a, you know, dervishes, or the logistics could be good for Castle Age, because you can start grabbing relics instantly. Looks like you spawn with 2 dervishes, so you can just get the Castle Age, start grabbing relics. I think they'll provide military bonuses with relics. Ooh, you're probably right. You grab a relic, and then you can mass heal or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Which means, you know, think about it like this. If you have, let's say you have 2 relics at home, and what you would do, you know, you have an injured army, and if it has a mass healing ability, you take a relic out, heal your army, and then you just put it back. I mean, I could see some real use cases for that ability. if it's a mass heal, like, you know, depending how big the mass heal radius is. Imagine having 12 of the camel lancers, and then you just mass heal with this, and then bam, you got, you know, 20 injured camel lancers to full health, assuming it goes to full health. I don't know how it works, right? All right, let's look at the trade wing. Choose between the bazaar and the advisors at the trade wing. Selecting the bazaar will unlock the ability to hire units and purchase resources from neutral merchants that arrive at the House of Wisdom. This kind of sounds like mercenaries to me. Choosing advisors will produce a group of Astabag advisors which can garrison in any military building to improve the units trained there. Interesting. So it's a trade wing, but it sounds not really trade? Really? So you'll unlock the ability to hire units and purchase resources from neutral merchants that arrive at the House of Wisdom. What units can you purchase? That would be interesting. I'd be very curious what you get. But Trade Wing will be a legitimately, like, an actual wing I think you'll see, though, because these sound pretty sick. You get advisors that produce a group of, you know, advisors which can garrison in any military building to improve the units trained there. How much does it improve them? Like, that would be, like, right, how much stronger is an archer with the advisor in that archery range and then a normal one? Like, these are things that I'm definitely going to be testing on when the game comes out, because I don't know. But, so it looks like you get, like, mercenaries, or you get better unit, or you get stronger units. Like, that sounds, like I said, Trade Wing sounds like a very viable, like, all the wings here sounds something like you can actually see. Age of Noob said it was random in the preview build. Interesting. So that means it changes. So that means it's not always the same thing, which means, like, this is, like, so just looking at this, right? All these wings sound really, like, honestly, they all sound good. The weakest one, I think, out of all the wings I've seen so far, I think the weakest one is probably the Master Smiths. You know, like, yes, you get instant blacksmith technologies, but I feel like that's going to be very, very circumstantial if you're going to plan to, like, do an attack and you want to have that extra upgrade before your opponent, or if you're trying to catch up because you're trying to defend against an attack. Like, that's what I think. Out of what I've seen from these, I think all of these things actually sound cool and viable. The only thing I think that you won't see very much is probably the instant blacksmith technologies. Unless it's free. If it's free, then maybe you'll see that more often. But yeah, like I said, yeah, if you're going to do an all-in attack, that is when it would be good, right? Man, I can't wait to play this, though. I really can't. I am really looking forward to, like... This is, by the way, this is only the second Civ they're giving us all the details for. We know a bit about Japan, but we don't know their landmarks. We know little to nothing about Byzantines. We know a bit about Joan d'Arc, and now we know a lot more about the Ayyubids. Like, Ayyubids look like an awesome Civ at a glance. Like, this Civ sounds like they would be fun. And then I'll be very curious how the other two, right? We already have our theories about Order of the Dragon. The theory being that their units are going to be, because in the description they said that Order of the Dragon is going to have stronger units and more population. Like, their units and stuff are going to be more population. So, but we don't know anything about Zuzi's legacy, which I know I said wrong. So, okay. I mean, that's it for the Ayyubids. Not really much else to discuss. They look like a fun Civ. They have actually they have more than 4 unique units. They have 5 unique units so far that we've seen, if you count the dervish. And then they have advisors and stuff. So, I mean, this Civ has a lot. Like, in a way, the Ayyubids almost seems like a completely new civilization in a lot of ways. Like, this is definitely very different from Abbasid. So I wonder what Civ we get to see next week, because it looks like they're just gonna do one a week. So next week we might get the China. Maybe we get Order of the Dragon. I'm gonna bet Byzantines and Japan they're not gonna release until those are gonna be the last two. I think they're gonna do the China variant Order of the Dragon, you know, one of those two over the next 2 weeks, and then they'll do Byzantines and Japan. I like this one better than the Gun of Arc. To be fair, this civ does look like sounds a lot more fun than the French variant. So far out of the, you know, out of the civilizations we have information to, yeah, this one seems like the most fun.